Iran says deal with US can be reached if it shows goodwill ahead of indirect talks. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said he will meet US envoy Steve Witkoff for indirect talks on Saturday, after Trump said both sides have begun direct negotiations. Iran and US officials are set to meet in Oman this weekend for the negotiations under the Trump administration, said Iran's foreign minister on Tuesday, as Washington seeks to halt Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program amid skyrocketing tensions in the Middle East. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said he will meet US envoy Steve Witkoff for indirect talks on Saturday, likely with Omani mediators shuttling between the two parties. It is as much an opportunity as it is a test. The ball is in America's court, he added. This came after US President Donald Trump said Washington and Tehran have begun direct discussions on Iran's nuclear program after meeting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the White House. He said Iran will be in great danger if a deal is not made. The US and Iran held indirect talks during former President Joe Biden's term but made little progress. Direct talks between the US and Iran are not known to have been held since the Obama administration. There was no immediate acknowledgement from the US that Witkoff would lead the American delegation. Araghchi said a deal can be reached with the United States if it shows goodwill in nuclear talks on Saturday. He said the government's main objective going into the discussions was to ensure sanctions on Iran are lifted. The United States exited the 2015 nuclear agreement under Trump's leadership in 2018 and reimposed harsh sanctions on Iran. Since retaking office, Trump has pressed Iran for renewed nuclear talks and warned Tehran of harsh consequences should it not make a deal. Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, who earlier rejected Trump's call for direct talks, said Iran is ready for dialogue but the US must demonstrate a genuine intent for negotiations. We are not seeking war, tensions, or nuclear weapons, we are seeking negotiations. However, the Americans must also prove that they are genuinely pursuing negotiations, he was quoted as saying by IRNA News. Asked about Trump's mention of planned direct talks between the US and Iran, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Moscow welcomes them, adding that we support settling the issue of the Iranian nuclear dossier by political and diplomatic means. Meanwhile, Iran, Russia, and China are also holding consultations on the nuclear issue in the Russian capital, according to Iranian Ambassador Kazem Jalali. He said Iran, Russia, and China have previously held meetings to coordinate their positions in international forums and to work toward a productive negotiating solution related to the removal of Western sanctions. With agency in Poznan,